So, like I said, this is an experiment and I have no idea how this is going to go. See my new scissors, everybody. I'm so excited. I popped a post on the Foxy Crafters to see if anybody could recommend some scissors for fussy cutting, because I did some recently and my hands were getting a little bit sore from trying to control the scissors. The scissors I was using were they're just a little pair. I've had them for forever. So these are my go-to scissors. Lyrico Premium. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I use them for lots of things, and I decided there must be something easier to use. So I picked these up yesterday and I tried them out just before tea and went, oh my gosh, I love them. I'm almost looking forward to fussy cutting again, which I really don't like fussy cutting. It's not my favorite thing in the world, so that was a surprise for me to even think that. And they're so easy to use. Plus Spotlight have a sale at the moment, so I got them on sale, which was even better. If I move that, you'll be able to see. I probably could have done this bit off camera. I may fast forward through this. You could leave these on here if you want to. It's not the look I'm after, so I'm just going to snip them off. My goodness, so many strings. If I was thinking, I would have cleaned them up properly as I was removing them from the sewing machine, but I was kind of in a hurry to not have to sew in front of you all anymore. Oh my goodness. And my sewing machine, it's not an expensive machine and it kind of has a bit of a bounce to it, so it's not as smooth as some of the sewing machines I've seen you all using out there, but it does the job for me, so I'm not complaining by a long shot. Okay. Trying to sweep that away and it's still attached. So there are our pockets as we finish them up. The threads have all been cut off, and the next step is to tear that top paper off. So we'll see how that goes. This could be really, really fabulous or really disastrous. And you can tear as much or as little. See, that's actually come out of the stitching. So I'm going to this paper is quite brittle too though. What can I pop under there just to... I just want to lift it, so actually a bigger paper clip might work. And I quite like that. Quite shabby. Okay, so we'll do the rest. And these little scraps will make fabulous collage pieces too, so don't throw those out. Oh, that's actually taken the... No, I'll just ink that. That actually tore part of the brown paper, so it's lifted this corner. I might even be able to glue that back on with a bit of glue. Bit of glue stick or something. This paper clip is really handy to get in under the paper. She said that she struggles. And you could leave bigger chunks there if you wanted to. I'm finding if it tears too close to where the stitches have actually gone into the paper, then it's pulling the paper right out of the stitches, which is why I'm kind of holding it with my thumb to not allow it to tear quite that close to the stitching. Part of me actually doesn't mind it like that, with just some of the background showing through. I feel like I want to remove some of this bit here though. Just trying to get in underneath it. There we go. Oh, that's a little bit too perfectly round for me. All my nails broke recently. I'm used to being able to lever things with them and I can't do that right now. Because this paper is quite fragile, quite brittle, it's breaking off rather than tearing. Let's see if I can... think I'll leave it like that. And yes, I've left the coloured one till last. I have no idea how it will come out. And using the colour paper instead of using the paper with text or music on it. This paper's tearing a little bit easier. I think I'm working a lot harder to get this look than than Attic Lane did, but it may have to do with the paper that I'm using too. So perhaps a slightly sturdier paper would have been more appropriate, although I do like the colour in this paper. Actually, what if I... Good thinking. I nearly said good thinking 99. It's a reference to Get Smart from the 60s. I don't know if any of you have ever watched that show or even if you know of it, but that was where my head just went. And I stopped myself from saying it, but then it was still rattling around in my head. Okay, I like that. Although I'm seeing Babysitter's Club, I don't really know if I want to be able to see the book that it's from. Oh well, it's not too bad. Okay, and now our experiment. Who knows how this will look. So I am actually using my thumbnails as a way of guiding how the paper is tearing. I don't know if you can see me doing that, but I'm holding my thumbnail over the stitches so that the paper doesn't tear too close to the stitches, just to give it a guide. like it like that. Maybe take away that straight edge across the top. But I'm kind of liking that. So I'm going to leave it like that. I might see if I can get rid of that straight edge in there. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I've just got lots of little scraps here. And I'm just going to sit these to the side. I've just got a desk. So I've got a desk to the right of me, or a table to the right of me, which is where my sewing machine is set up. So when I turn the camera off and turn my camera around, that's what I'm doing. I'm shifting the camera from here to here. And so that's how they came out. I'm going to see if I can add some ink. They're quite fun, actually. Just trying to decide whether or not to add a focal point or whether I leave the paper as the focal point. We'll have a play with that in a second. I really like the coloured paper. I really wasn't sure how it would come out, whether I would like it or whether... I was worried about it not having text on it. So the music paper and obviously the book pages have text, which is an added interest. So I wasn't sure with the plain colours whether I would like that. But I think because it's got the stamping underneath, I think it works quite well because it kind of breaks up that busy background. I don't know. What do you all think? I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to get my ephemera folder. Actually, one thing I did have in mind for one of these pockets was one of these. I actually really like the dragonfly. Oh, that's so... I think I prefer him on that one. He's a little bit bigger than I would like though. He's covering a lot of what's going on. Oh, I think I really like that. So these mushrooms are from ArtVintages. And it's pretty. Actually, I do really want to include some fish in this journal. I quite like that one. the dragonfly, or do I want to put something else? That is the question. Oh, that's pretty. I love the background colours in that, which is why when I fussy cut it, I didn't cut those out. I think that will match my colour scheme quite well. Just wondering about my butterfly. It's very loud. And I thought I had a couple here that may have been... Now that I've picked it up, it's not as loud as I thought it was. No, that's pretty. And I haven't made these images super big. I didn't want them to take away from... That one's really pretty too. That almost matches the green in there. No, I don't know. Can you guys tell me? Just call out, I'm sure I'll hear you. This one I really liked for this journal. Although the green's not quite working, is it? I think he's too big, or I could do just him on his own. It's a different purple. I don't know, that purple seems to bring out something in the white. I don't even know. Can you guys see what I'm seeing? I might just stick with him. Pop these butterflies, these flies back. I'll pop these butterflies back so I don't lose any. And I'll give these an ink. This is the first time I've really used things that I've fussy cut myself, so that's kind of fun. I decided I wanted to get myself a little stash of fussy cut images to play with, so last weekend I set myself a goal to cut as many as I could. I don't think I'm anywhere near the speedster that people like Gayle Agostinelli seem to be. Gayle, you amaze me at how quickly you do your fussy cutting. The volume in which you produce in a short time is just incredible. But I'm really happy with my little effort. I must say, cutting out butterfly tentacles, I wasn't sure whether to leave them on or whether to cut them off. I still haven't decided whether it was a good thing to leave them on. I have decided I'm not really a bird person. I watch other people use them and I love them, but even just selecting some to print, I was like, not sure. I'm not sure I like it. I was like, really, how could one be so fussy? And I didn't know that I would love the fish as much as I do. I did go through and select images that I thought would work with the colours that I was using. They're not a perfect match, but I tried really hard. And I actually quite like them. Who knew? And most of my people, most of my family and friends are into fishing. It's not really something I enjoy, I must admit, but I know a lot of people who do. And I'm thinking I want... Now I've just shifted things around, guys. You know when you get yourself new storage and you reshuffle? That's what I've done. Trying to remember. I think it was this one. Yay! I'm just looking for my tea stained cheesecloth. This lot of cheesecloth came out much more yellow than my first lot did. I don't know whether I must have done it differently. And I do have these coloured ones here. I have tried using them once before and I have to be careful with the glue because they do bleed a little bit. The colour doesn't seem to be set in them, but they're really, really pretty, so I would like to use them if I can. I think that's too big. I think I might sew that on. I won't turn the camera around for this, if you just bear with me. Sorry, just lining it up. Still getting used to where things are set up. I don't know how long it's going to take me. Okay. I was reaching then. I thought my scissors were sitting next to me and I'm reaching and it was my ruler. Okay. So I'm just going to I might use this because it's quick dry and hopefully it won't draw as much colour out of that. It won't draw as much colour out of the cheesecloth. I do want to try and get those tentacles to stick down, or they're going to come off. And then it will have been a waste of time me trying to cut them out. Just holding that in place until it sets. And I think the backs of these I will line with some tea stain paper. So I'll quickly do this one. You can see if I can find some tea stain paper. It's not big enough. It is. My goodness, who knew? It's almost the perfect size. Only because I'm using it as a pocket, and the tags will be, or whatever people decide to use it for, will be in and out of the pocket all the time, and there's a lot of stitching in the back, so I just don't want it to catch on whatever tags are put in there. So you won't actually see that, but okay, so I'm just going to quickly sew around this. And I am using a zigzag to sew. Okay. And I'll just cut. As I said, this pocket isn't a perfect shape, but I'm okay with that. I just don't want that tea stain paper to be showing too noticeably from behind. And if I pop a little ink and that's one pocket done. I think that's really pretty. It's a little bit different, but super fun to make. So I will go ahead and do my others. So this one here, I'm wondering whether I just want to use just the tea stained cheesecloth if I can get into it. There we go. And I do want to take that perfect edge off the bottom. And I'm kind of going to tease it a little bit just to pull it slightly. I just put it down then and it kind of reminded me of like a fishing net, dare I say it. Not that we should be catching the fishies, but that's what it reminded me of. So it was a little bit perfect the way it was sitting. I don't know which way. I think I like him there. I want to bring that down a little bit. Kind of like that. And I don't know if I want something behind him or not. Again, I have a factory edge on this part of the fabric, so I'm just removing that. And I think I like that. Okay, so I'm going to sew that on. Okay, just removing my thread at the back. And that's my pocket. And then adding my fish. I've got a little goober in there that I don't want there. Just holding that down to adhere it well. I might burnish the back a little bit. Oh, and it appears my stitching didn't go through. My bobbin must have run out. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it has. Whoops. Okay guys, so I might finish these off camera. I've got to rethread my bobbin, and I will turn the camera back on and show you when I finish them all. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello everybody, I'm back again. I have finished off these pockets and I must say I love the way they've come out. I have zigzagged around the original pocket, which I did while the camera was still going. And this butterfly here is actually, it's almost giving a purplish tone to the gesso that's on there. I don't know if that's visible in the camera, but that's kind of what I'm picking up with my eye. It's almost a grey purple, but I really love it. And the other three that I did off camera, I have done a straight stitch around the outside because I already had my focal points on there. And I didn't want to get too close to my focal points, so I'll bring each one of them up to the camera closely, or more closely, so that you can see. So although they've used a very similar idea for each one, they're also a little bit different from each other, which I'm really loving. And I think they're really pretty. As I said, when I did the papers on the stitched areas, I don't know whether part of the reason they didn't tear very easily was because I had stitching going both vertically and horizontally. It may tear better if you only have stitching going one way. That would have to be something to experiment with. But I actually love the fact that they're going in both directions. I mean, this one here, you can see it quite clearly that they're stitching going in both directions, and I think that's kind of fun. So although the tearing process took a little bit longer, I totally think the effect is worth it. Anyway, so excuse me, got a frog in my throat. I hope you enjoyed this craft with me, and please don't forget to hit like if you like what you see, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more in the future. And happy crafting, everybody. Have some fun, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.